and apostles, a great millstone. Shalom to all Akim, preaching his word in truth and sincerity and in faith. It's the brother Yeshaya from the GMS Plain Tables Camp here in Philadelphia. I just want to do a quick lesson on a video I was watching from one of the brothers from GMS Dallas, and he was going in the video. He was going into the topic of not letting not letting depression destroy you, not letting depression overthrow your spirit, overthrow your faith. And I was meditating in the spirit how the fact that the closer we get to the end, the more the spiritual demon Satan is going to be plaguing our minds with depression, anxiety, all different type of just messed up things in our brain, trying to overthrow our faith. So this is Revelations chapter 12 verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Yeah, so a lot of times when brothers read this verse, they make the point of speaking on the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, which is the so-called white man, this Edomite. But this scripture is twofold. It's also speaking about the spiritual demon Satan. So the closer we get to the end, Satan knows he has a short time, where wickedness is going to rule the world. So he's going to go hard as he can, to try to overthrow brothers' faith. And he's going to go as hard as he can against brothers to get brothers to fall out of this truth, to lose their faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." Yeah, so brothers have to be vigilant and be sober-minded, constantly, because the devil, the spiritual demon Satan, is constantly seeking in what way, shape, or form that he can, overthrow your faith, that he can plague your mind with all types of wicked thoughts, plague your mind with depression. You might, one day you're good, you're in a good mood, and then you wake up the next morning, you're just depressed. You don't even know the reason why. You barely want to wake up out of bed. You don't want to do nothing. You don't want to do your daily chores, and at times you don't even feel like doing the most important thing in this world that brothers can do in this faith, is doing the works of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is, studying, reading the scriptures, watching brothers' videos, making videos of your own. And sometimes, you'll be so depressed, in such a down mood, you don't even want to go out on the highways and hedges. So brothers have to constantly be sober and be vigilant, monitoring your thoughts, because Satan is going to try to get in our heads to try to overthrow our faith constantly. He's always seeking a different way to overthrow your faith. This is Job chapter 1 verse 6. It says, "Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High, and escheweth evil?" And the word escheweth here means to avoid. It says, "Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, Doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land." Yeah, so Satan was telling the Most High that the only reason that Job fears him and that he keeps the law, statutes, and commandments is because the Most High has blessed his hand, has blessed him in every way. It says, "But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face." Yeah, so Satan was telling the Most High, if you take away all the blessings that you've given him, he's going to curse you to your face. He's going to hate you, basically. It says, "And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand." So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. Yeah, so the Most High told him he was able to take away all that Job had, only not to hurt Job physically. Now, if you read down, it tells you that, all the possessions, that Job had was taken away. His children were killed, all his cattle, and all the goods that Job had was taken away from him. In verse 21 here it says, I'm going to read verse 20. It says, Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, Naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Yahweh gave, and Yahweh hath taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. It says, In all this Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly. So even after losing all that he had, Job still, praised the name of the Most High. He was still, happy with, the way things, well, not necessarily happy, but he was content with the way things are. He understands that the Most High, and he gives, that the Most High gives, and that the Most High takes away. This is Job chapter 2, verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, and one that feareth the Most High, and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. Yeah, so the Most High was saying Job still maintained his integrity even though he lost all that he had. And Satan answered Yahweh and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But pour forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. Yeah. So Satan was telling the Most High, he may have lost all that he has, but he still has his health. So these are just examples of certain ways that Satan is going to try to attack you. This example is more on a physical level. First, Satan attacked Job, by taking all that he had. Then he attacked his health. So Satan attacks you in different ways. In this way, he attacked Job on a physical level. And that's one of the ways Satan, will try to attack brothers. It says, And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. It says, So went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. Yeah, so Satan plagued Job with boils from the sole of his, covered his whole body with boils. It says, And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Yeah, so not only did Satan, take away all the blessings, all the goods that Job had, his material possessions, not only that, he took away his, his good health also. So those are just examples of different ways Satan is going to attack you. Now this is First Chronicles chapter 1. This First Chronicles chapter 21 verse 1. It says, And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Yeah, so in this example, Satan came in the mind of, played on the mind of David to number Israel. It says, I'm going to read down more. It says, And David said to Joab and to the rulers of the people, Go number Israel from Beersheba even to Dan, and bring the number of them to me that I may know. Yeah, so in doing this, David angered the Most High. I'm going to read verse 7. It says, And the Most High was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel. So Israel was punished because of what David did, because like it says here, it says, Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. I'm going to look up that word for provoke. It says to incite, allure, instigate, entice. Yeah, so Satan entered into the mind of David and enticed him to do something that would anger the Most High. And that's another way that Satan, the main way, honestly, that Satan, comes up against, the men of the Lord, constantly, inciting us or inciting or enticing us to do things that are wicked, that are going to anger and displease the Most High, that are going to be breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. Now this is Luke chapter 22, verse 3. It says, Then entered Satan into Judas, named Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might betray him unto them. Yeah, so Satan entered into Judas's mind to betray the Lord, Now this is Luke 22 verse 31. It says, in the Lord, which is talking about Yahushua, it says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. Yeah, so Yahushua was telling Peter that Satan was desiring him, trying to enter it, basically trying to enter into his mind, trying to plague his mind with wicked thoughts. If you read the scriptures, there's certain instances where Satan, was trying to enter into Peter's mind, like when Yahushua told him that he had to go down to Jerusalem to be crucified, and then Peter was saying that he didn't want that to happen, and Yahushua was telling him, basically, you have to want what the Most High want, not what you want. If it's the will of the Heavenly Father, you have to want it too. So that's why in that instance, Yahushua called Peter Satan, said, get thee behind me, Satan, because Satan was entering into his mind to put, wicked thoughts into his mind, which is going against the will of Yahweh. That's a wicked thought. It says, but I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother. Yeah, so we have to believe in the spirit that Yahushua, which he is, that Yahushua is praying for us, that our faith fail not. The same way he prayed for Peter, Yahushua is praying for us. This is James chapter 4 verse 7. It says, submit yourselves therefore to the Most High, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Yeah, it says submit yourselves to the Most High. Yeah, how do we submit ourselves to the Most High? By staying in the scriptures, by doing what he commands us, by keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, by feeding his sheep, by doing the work that he's, commanded us to do. That's how we resist the devil. Yeah, that by following the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the devil will flee from you. Like the same way, the scripture says that the spirit of the Most High won't enter into a malicious soul. A man that's walking in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Satan's not going to be able to overcome that spirit. It says, draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Yeah, so you have to be constantly drawing near to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and the more we, do what he says, that's when we're going to become close to the Most High. We're going to become near unto him, nigh unto him. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. It says, be ye angry and sin not, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Yeah, so, in certain instances in this society, brothers will get, very frustrated with the way things are, with the way their life is. There's different living situations. You can't let that anger, overtake you. Like it says in Ecclesiastes, I'm going to get it real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Yeah, so we're being oppressed all the day long, so we're going to be angry about that, but we can't let that anger overtake us to do something that's not expedient, that's not expedient for us to do. It says, be ye angry and sin not, let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil. Yeah, so when you're let your anger, your emotions overtake you, you're giving place to the devil to put all types of wicked thoughts in your mind, to plague your mind, to do something you're not supposed to be doing, to think, oh, what's the point of doing all of this? What's the point of serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? The more you let your emotions overtake you, the more you give place to the devil, because that's when you're at your weakest, when you're emotional. So we have to fight against those emotions, those different emotions, not to give place to the devil. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. It says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Yeah, so everything that brothers are going to, whether it's, different afflictions in the flesh, something might be wrong with your body, different sicknesses, different illnesses, or just your living situation. You got a crappy job, you got a crappy house, or whatever the case may be. All these different temptations is common. All types of men have gone through what you're going through and have experienced that, whether it be different thoughts in your mind. You're dealing with depression or anxiety, like the brother had mentioned in that video. It says it's common to man, but it says, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. Yeah, so the Most High is not going to put on you something that's more than you can handle. The Most High has given you the keys, the ability to handle what you're going through, and you have to believe that in the spirit. And you have to keep fighting. And it says here, it says, there hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. Yeah, so like I read in those different examples, all types of men have gone through what you're going through. And you have to believe the same way they came out of it. Like I gave the example of Job, of David, Peter, the way they came out of it. You have to believe that you'll be able to come out of it too. This is Romans. It's Romans chapter 15, verse 4. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Yeah, so you have to read the scriptures constantly and see the different things that the men, the servants of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai went through, and you're comforted by that, because you know why. Their end was, they were basically exonerated, if that's the correct word I'm using for that. They came out better through they made it through the situations they went through. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 28. I think it's 14. Verse 4, Salah. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 28. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Yeah, so you have to constantly fight for the truth, constantly fight to be a servant of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, to do the work of the Lord, and the Lord is going to fight for you. That should be brothers' main focus. As long as you're serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, he's going to fight for you, and that you make it through all the different afflictions, all the different temptations that you're going through. And I got the definition for the word strive. It says, make great efforts to achieve or obtain something. Yeah, so we have to make great efforts to achieve and obtain the kingdom of heaven, It says to struggle or fight vigorously. Yeah, and that's what we have to do in this truth and this faith. Keep fighting to do the work. Keep fighting to keep in the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and to serve him to the best of our ability. So Lord willing, this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. Again, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim, preaching his word in truth and sincerity and in faith. Shalom.